The Bears are in the eye of the perfect storm. A millionaire player we can't afford, a defensive position under extreme pressure, and the ultimate revenge against our worst enemy. 3 stories that will change everything you thought you knew about this season. Stay until the end, because what's coming will impact Chicago forever. I can't believe the crazy stuff happening with the Bears right now. Did you think the drama was over? You're out of your mind. Chi-Town is going through 3 situations that will define the future of this team. And I guarantee that after hearing this, you'll understand why this season will be completely different. Let's start with something driving everyone crazy on social media. Trey Hendrickson is having contract issues with the Bengals, and immediately all Chicago fans start dreaming of bringing him to Soldier Field. But you know what? I'm telling you this. Numbers don't lie, and this dream is completely impossible. Why do I say it's impossible? Because the Bears are already spending a fortune on the defensive line. Did you know that Chicago has the 6th highest spending on defensive line in the entire NFL? And that's just this year. In 2026, they'll have the 5th highest spending, and by 2027, we'll be in 2nd place in the whole league. But wait, it gets worse. Do you think it's smart to keep spending on a position where you already have Montez Sweat earning $25 million until 2027? I don't think so. We already signed Dayo Odeyingbo, which will cost us only $8 million this year. But you know what's next? $20.5 million in 2026 and $19.5 million in 2027. And do you know how much Hendrickson would cost? They're talking about more than $100 million in 3 years for a 30-year-old player. Spot Rack ran the numbers, and it's terrifying. In 2024, it would be $13,667,000. Does that sound reasonable? Not at all. Because in 2026, we'd have to pay $31 million, in 2027, $36 million, and in 2028, $38 million for a 34-year-old. Player, do you know what that means? Let's do the math together. The Bears are already $7.5 million over the salary cap for 2026. How are we going to add $31 million more? There's only one way, and that's destroying the roster. We'd have to cut Jalen Johnson and save $11 million after June 1st. We'd have to cut Tremaine Edmonds and save $13 million. We'd have to cut Cole Kmet and save $8,400,000. And we'd have to cut DeAndre Swift and save $6,200,000. Do you see what's happening here? That would give us $38 million. But you know what? We already need $31 million for Hendrickson and $7 million to cover the deficit we already have. We have nothing left to pay the 2026 draft picks or sign free agents. And that's not the worst. In 2027, we need $36 million for Hendrickson, but that's also the year we need to give Caleb Williams a contract of $50 million or more per season. Where will that money come from? Are you going to mortgage the future? For a veteran defensive end, I'm telling you that's exactly what happened with Ryan Pace. Huge contracts for veteran players, constant restructuring, and then salary cap hell. Do you want to go back to those days where we had to cut half the roster every year? And why do we need Hendrickson? We already have 2 main defensive ends. Or are you going to spend $400,000 on a Rolls Royce when you need a Toyota and barely have money for a Nissan? That's exactly what you're suggesting. If you want to strengthen the position, find a rotational player that costs $5 or $6 million, not an all-pro who will destroy the salary cap. Dominique Robinson and Austin Booker need competition, but not at the expense of mortgaging the next 5 years. If that surprises you, wait until you hear this. Tyreek Stevenson is about to live hell in 2025. Dennis Allen is coming with a defensive scheme that's going to put brutal pressure on the outside cornerback position. And the 2024 numbers are already giving us a warning of what's coming. Did you know that Stevenson had the 4th highest target rate among all NFL cornerbacks? 19.10% in all routes. But that's not all. While playing outside, he had the 2nd highest target rate with 19.74%. 2.74! That means almost 1 in 5 passes were thrown his way. And in critical situations, get ready for this. The 7th highest target rate on late downs with 20.86%, and the 7th in the red zone with 22.3%. Do you think that's a coincidence? I'm telling you no. Rival offenses identified they could attack that position and did so relentlessly. Stevenson played 81% of the team's defensive snaps, 16 full games being the main target of every opposing offense. Do you know what that means? That every offensive coordinator in the league had in their game plan attack number 2 on Chicago. But here comes the really crazy part. Allen is implementing a press man coverage scheme instead of zone coverage. Do you know what that means? The pressure is going to be 10 times higher. In New Orleans, Allen's cornerbacks constantly appear on the same target list as Stevenson. This is no coincidence. Do you know Dennis Allen's style? He puts his cornerbacks on islands. One-on-one press coverage, no safety help. And what happens when the cornerback loses? Touchdown! There's no safety net, no backup coverage. It's win or die on every play. Stevenson led the team in interceptions in 2023 and 2024 with 4 picks each year. That's good. But he also led in touchdowns allowed in both seasons. Do you see the pattern? Lots of action, lots of opportunities, but also lots of risk. It's like living on the edge every snap. And do you know what's the craziest part? That Al Harris, the defensive backs coordinator, comes from the same system. Harris played cornerback in the NFL for 14 years. He knows what it's like to be in that position under constant pressure. Do you think he'll be compassionate? No! He's going to demand perfection because he lived that pressure. The real question is Stevenson mentally prepared for this pressure? In 2024, he was already attacked mercilessly. Can he handle it getting worse in 2025? Or do we need Zah Frazier to step up? Is Terrell Smith ready for the moment? Can Nashawn Wright be the surprise? Because I guarantee whoever is in that position will be attacked relentlessly. Rival quarterbacks will study every tape, know every tendency, and will attack that position 20 to 25 times per game. Are our cornerbacks ready for that kind of volume? And don't forget this, Jalen Johnson will be covering the number. One rival, Kyler Gordon, will be moving all over the field creating different looks. But the number 2 outside cornerback, he will be alone against some of the best receivers in the NFL. But that's nothing compared to what's coming. Bears fans, this is historic. Aaron Rodgers has just signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers as a free agent, and we already have the date, November 23rd at Soldier Field. This is our chance for revenge after 15 years of humiliation. Do you remember I Own You? Do you remember the pain we felt when that cursed quarterback told us in our house that he owned us? I done anything. 24 wins against our 5 losses. 24-5. 64 touchdowns in 29 games. He has tortured us for a decade and a half. But listen to me, Rodgers turns 42 this year. This is almost certainly his last season in the NFL. And you know what's the most wonderful part? That his last game against us will be at Soldier Field. Dang, you remember all the times he broke our heart? The time he eliminated us from the playoffs with a Hail Mary? How many times did we leave Soldier Field feeling like our hope had been stolen? I remember each one of those painful defeats. But do you know what's the most amazing part of this situation? That Rodgers will be playing with a completely different team. He won't have Devontae Adams. He won't have that Green Bay offensive line that protected him for years. He won't have Matt LaFleur designing perfect plays for him. He'll be with Pittsburgh trying to learn a completely new system at 42 years old. Do you think it's a coincidence that his last game against us is on our home turf? I think it's destiny. It's time for Caleb Williams to be the quarterback who finally takes down this veteran quarterback. It's time for the Bears to give Rodgers a final bitter memory of Chicago. Imagine the scene. Williams at 22 years old, full of energy and talent, against Rodgers, 42 years old, trying to prove he still has something left in the tank. It's the perfect movie. It's David versus Goliath, but this time David wears a Bears jersey. And you know what else excites me? That our defense will be hungry. Montez Sweat will want to destroy Rodgers. Dyer Odeyingbo will want to make his mark. Against a future Hall of Famer. The entire defense will be motivated because they know what this game means to the city of Chicago. I want Rodgers' last image at Soldier Field to be walking with his head down after a crushing defeat. I want him to have to shake Caleb Williams' hand and say, "It's your time, kid," while we celebrate in the stands like we haven't celebrated in decades. But you know what's most important about this game? That it can completely change the narrative. If Williams beats Rodgers in his last game in Chicago, that becomes the defining moment of his career. It's the moment where the past is left behind and the future begins. Imagine the highlights. Williams connecting the game-winning touchdown while Rodgers sits on the bench watching as his era ends and ours begins. That video will be on repeat for the next 20 years. And the best part, that this year we have the tools to do it. We have an explosive offense with Williams, Romo Dunza, DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen. We have a defense that can put pressure on a 42-year-old quarterback. We have all the ingredients for the perfect revenge. Do you think Williams can be the one to close this painful chapter? Are we ready to become the hunters instead of the prey? I think so! It's time for Chicago to have its revenge and for Rodgers to leave Soldier Field for the last time with the bitter taste of defeat. These three stories show that the Bears are at a crucial moment in their history. Do you think Poles should keep spending on the defensive line or invest in other positions? Do you trust that Stevenson can handle the pressure of Allen's new scheme? Or do we need urgent reinforcements? And more importantly, do you believe Williams can give Rodgers the farewell he deserves at Soldier Field? I want you to leave your opinions in the comments. This Bears community is a family. And in family, we discuss, debate, but always support each other. If you think Poles is managing the salary cap well, let me know. If you think we need to urgently strengthen the secondary, tell me. And if you're as excited as I am for the chance to beat Rodgers in his last game, shout it in the comments, subscribe to this channel, because tomorrow we will have more explosive news about the Bears. You can't miss a single update of this season that can change everything for Chicago. Like if you want to see Williams destroy Rodgers, share if you believe this is the Bears year, and subscribe if you want deep analysis every day. See you in the next video, family. Day Bears, bear down, and long live Chicago. Explicaciones de las expresiones utilizadas.